Okay, now for this last section on this test, we are looking at comparing different forms of linear expressions. And we're trying to figure out who's fastest or who's saving the most, stuff like that. And the easiest way to compare that is to look at their unit rates. So what it is per one something. Okay? So when we do this, let's start with number 17 here. So it's asking who will have $70 first, Bob or George. It tells me that Bob has $30 and is saving $4 every week. So that's 4 for every 1 week. That would be its unit rate, right? 4 over 1. For this one, George also started with $30. So they're going to start at the same place, and his savings are shown in the graph below. So I'm trying to figure out what his savings are. So when I look at this graph, I'm going to pay attention to its scale. And I don't know if you can see it too well in this video, so I'm going to zoom in here. So when you look at this scale, notice that for each one you go up, you're going up by 5, right? It skips a number, but each spot you go up is going up 5. So when we look at this line, it looks like it's hitting every intersection. So if I go up 1 over 1, that's actually going up 5 over 1. So his unit rate would be 5 over 1. So what does that mean? So if we compare these unit rates, this means that he is saving $4 for every 1 week. This one means he's saving $5 for every 1 week. If they both start at 30, then George is obviously going to be the one that gets the $70 first because he's saving an extra dollar per week. So George gets there first. Okay, this next one gives me a bunch of runners, and it wants me to figure or order them from slowest to fastest. So when I look at this, Jan ran 20 meters in the past 8 seconds. So that would be 20 over 8, right? Would be his slope. But I want to probably compare these as a unit rate, because that's going to be the easiest way for me to figure out who is the quickest. So when I do 20 divided by 8, I'm going to get 2.5 meters per second. So meters, MPS is what I'm going to call it. Okay, now with the equations, this right here is the slope. So all I do is 9 divided by 4. And I'm going to get 2.25 meters per second. So looking at these two, he's going 2.25 meters per second. He's going 2.5. Runner B is slower than runner A so far. Okay, runner C. This one's going to be probably my most difficult one. This isn't the best graph. But looking at this graph, I've got 2 dots here. And I've got my distance in meters, and I got my time in seconds. So at this dot, it's at 2 seconds, and it looks like it is at 25. This dot is at 9 seconds, and it looks like it is at 70. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take away 70 minus 25 to figure out how much he went up. So he went up 45, or he went 45 meters, and 2 minus 9 would be 7 seconds. Okay, between the 2 dots that are given. So now I'm going to figure what that is as a unit rate, and that's 6.4 meters per second. So that one's much quicker than these two up here, right? So 6.4 meters per second. And then this last one, this one's a little tricky, because I have a distance and a time that I start with on this table, but I don't know where he started necessarily. So I have to look at what changed between these two. That's what his speed is currently. So he is going 4 every 2 seconds, right? So that would be 4 over 2, which would actually just be 2. If you did 60 divided by 8, that would actually be quite a bit quicker. That'd be 7.5, but that's not the speed he's currently going, right? So we have to look at what he's currently going, and then it is 2 meters per second. So putting this all together, it looks like the slowest one would actually be runner D. And then the next slowest would be runner B, and then A, and then C would be the fastest. And that would be the order from slowest to fastest. And that's all you're doing in this section. So again, if you have questions, ask us. We want to help, so just let us know.